I'm spectating, surely. I hope so. Yes. I didn't even
Yes,
realise.
we're all spectating.
And we're live now. We're good to go.
And we're live.
So we're here now, night 2 of testing for Inters. We've got a couple of the new track layouts. That's the theme we've gone for tonight. We've obviously got Spain there in the corner. What do you think will be the next track there, Scotty? We've got Miami, Australia is one of them.
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, and what a new layout that is. I rate that quite a lot.
I rate it. Deserving to be the finale for Inters for season 3.
I think it's got to be the finale for almost every league. It's just an exceptional track now. I just think the new layout has just made it a much more enjoyable track, I honestly believe.
More overtakes, much more flowing.
Without that.
I think a finale there would provide some really good racing and quite entertaining one.
Without doubt, I think it's going to live up to exactly how the last year championship battle went in the real F1 with that late drama. I think we might see something similar over here. It's just going to live up to it, I really think. As you said, it's just that last sector, the first sector, there's so many overtaking opportunities on that track now.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first sector, there's so many. But look, we're here at Spain now. I personally haven't done a lot of racing around here. Have you done much around here?
No, I've done a couple time trials, but haven't really got any 5 laps around here. From what I have known, it feels different, especially that re-profile corner. I feel we should get plenty of overtakes around there.
And I've also noticed, as you said, in that new profile corner, I've noticed when you get there, you can see the really black tar. You can tell it's a really new track, and I personally find the car gets a very slippery once you get it. There's not much grip on that part of the track.
No, there isn't.
But I have found also with these cars, obviously you can trail a lot closer. Coming onto that last sector, onto this main straight where the DRS is, down this pit straight, I have found that it is a lot easier to get close and get ready for an overtake down here.
Anyway, we have started, lights out and away we go. And Cool Boy has got himself up in the lead of this race, in the McLaren.
And I've got to say, that was a much cleaner start than last night's races. We'll see how they pan into turns 1 and 2. It's looking like it's gone a lot better. The 2 Mercedes down the back there, Brocco and Mash, but a lot cleaner this evening, I believe. Oh, actually, we've got a yellow sector. There's Ratbag around. He was supposed to be on comms tonight. No. He was supposed to be on comms tonight. He's been thrown out at the last second. Very unfortunate. So not the start we would have wanted, but I'm sure he'll bring that back. We know how good Ratbag is. We saw him last night racing very hard.
Broseph got a very poor start from pole position. He's now in P3 with Cool Boy and Cat getting the jump on him.
And I've just pulled up the tyre strats. A couple of guys have gone the alternate strategy. 3 of them are on the mediums. That is Cat, KLX, a newcomer to the league. Oh, and there's a big crash back there. There's the McLaren around Hatch, and he's taking out the KLX, the guy we just talked about, and Shadow. There's taking 3 out. That should be a full safety car. I believe it is. There's a safety car coming out of the pit now. How many of these guys pit? I think the soft runners have to come in now, don't they?
They have to, absolutely. I would as well. It's a massive pile up on the back straight. And Spanky has got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Not as he would be wanting.
Very unfortunate. I know that curb personally can catch you out at the best of times. If you just get on the top of that curb a little too much on the throttle, it throws you straight off into that wall, and I think that's exactly what's happened.
The leader Cool Boy is in the pits as well as Broseph. Myrtle is also coming in the Alpine, I believe.
And just quickly, I'm interested on why Spanky opted to stay out there. He's obviously got that 5 seconds. That would have been a perfect opportunity to remove that and keep up with the grid. So interesting from the 2 Haasers, but maybe he's working with Cat a little bit there to play a little bit of defense. Obviously, it's not a league race. It's just a test. But maybe there's already a bit of strategy going on here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll just go through a couple of these drivers quickly. Scotty, you've obviously done a bit of racing with some of these guys now. You've raced a little bit with Myrtle. What are your thoughts on Myrtle? He's definitely improved a lot coming into this game. What are your thoughts on Myrtle?
I feel like he's definitely improved his racecraft and stuff. Was doing a bit of the 100% race and had a very good battle with him. He doesn't really back down, which is at times good, at times not so good, but I feel like he's improved his racecraft since last year's game.
And as you mentioned, that 100% race, they've obviously just finished that. Myrtle, Shadow, Tyler, Numbnuts there, and I believe Mash. And Myrtle actually won that 100% race. 50,
did he?
I think it's 61 laps or something. And yeah, only pulled 53. Sorry. There you go, 53, and he won it. He only pulled 3 seconds throughout the whole race, the lowest pens of all drivers. So he done it very well.
France is one of those tracks where it's very difficult to survive a 50% race, even without getting any penalties due to the very entire tarmac.
Yeah, it's a very tough track, especially turns 2, 3, and then up there into 6. It's very tough on the track limits, and you want to hit them so fast and get out of them as quick as possible. And to do that, sometimes you just got to push that car a little bit. So I believe that's Cool Boy in the pit again. He's gone on to the mediums. He's done 1 lap under the safety. Now he's in again. Let's see what he does. He's going back onto the softs, I believe. And he's actually doing a wing change as well, but it looks like he's putting on softs. He is. I don't know if they're going to get to the end. Maybe he goes around again and puts on the mediums again.
Now, Matty AU is on the hard compound tyre in P11 for, I believe that could be Alpine or Williams. Sorry, Williams. That is very bold in a 25% race. It's a very risky move. It could play into his favour a little bit. Obviously, it's very. I'm not quite sure how the tyre deg goes in these 25% races here. I haven't done a lot of them, but I don't imagine the mediums will get there. So maybe that's just a bit of a gamble and see what they can do. But we've got Shadow in here. Shadow, are you there? I cannot hear Shadow. Oh, there he is. Shadow, it looks like he just got caught up in an unavoidable incident there. Just talk us through it a little bit. Yeah, it just looks like I think Catch got a little bit trigger happy on that curve and probably just lost the rear and he went straight off into the wall, and then that just had KLX obviously pinboard straight back out into the middle of the track, and KLX really had nowhere to go. And then I just had a glimpse of you hitting him as well. Didn't look like you had much anywhere to go either. But yeah. Scotty, got anything to add? It looks like they're going racing, but Scotty, do you have anything to add to that? No.
And that's someone around an Alfa Romeo there. I think that's Boss. It is Boss.
Like a true Boss. It is
and there's an Aston's gone in. Tyler's gone into him.
And nuts. That he is out of that race.
That is very unfortunate for Tyler.
And yeah, it's very unfortunate.
I think Tyler was just trying to come down the inside. I think he might have had a good run, and I think he just tried to have a look down the inside, and Boss was just parked up there, nowhere for him to go. Very unfortunate for Tyler there, but not much more Boss could have done there. Just a racing incident at most there.
Now, Execute Order has got the jump on Spanky in the Alpine, so he's currently running in P2. But I wouldn't be surprised if Spanky and even Vice.
And there's a spin around behind again. I think that's Secret and Cool Boy. It is.
Now Vice is right on the back of Spanky.
I'm jumping up there right now. And there's the new corner. And you can see the different... and there's an Alfa Romeo off again. I think that's Broseph. I think that was Broseph dropping down the pack there.
No, it's Ducat. The leader is...
No, it's Ducat. Oh, and he's come on very quickly there. I thought it was an Alfa Romeo. I've obviously seen things there. There's a yellow again.
Massive crash. Broseph and Crispy have collided just in front of the chicane.
Right in front of it. So they're going to be straight into the pit. Both of these guys. I missed that, so I didn't see it. I'm jumping back up. I'm trying to get up to here to Vice and Spanky. Execute's taking the lead here, but Vice is looking very racy this evening.
Yes, he is. In the Alfa Romeo. Probably one of the best looking cars on the grid, I would say.
I would have to tend to agree with you there. I just had a quick look. The top 6 are yet to pit. There's another yellow sector. Is that Ducat around again? It is Ducat.
Yes, it is.
So he's having a lot of trouble there.
3.
So it's gone from bad to worse for him, and that's actually an Alfa Romeo. This time it is an Alfa Romeo. Boss spun around. So a lot of cars spinning around. They're really struggling out there this evening. Just have a look. There's execute order. He's slowly pulling away there.
Cool boy on the back straight, looking to make a move on Paddy, the Tier 3 champion. It goes down the inside.
Down the inside into the new hairpin there, and he's got away with it very nicely.
Gets the move done. Very good move from Cool Boy.
And Paddy's actually run very wide there. He's had a little bit of a DRS enabled there, we've just seen. So now we might see, and there's an incident up ahead. I think that's Maddie. It is Maddie around.
It is.
In the Williams, he's come out on track, and he's come out right in front of Maddie. So Paddy there.
And just missed the Spanky and Vice battle up ahead, going to turn 1.
I'm going back up there.
Spanky is staying ahead. But the Aston Martin, behind. I don't know who this is. Supposed to be a new person.
UT Cars
right on the back.
Yes, he is a new person. I believe he's from India. So, and
Indians are going global.
And it's actually invited Mash and the Mercedes into this battle now. Now there's a bit of there's 4 guys involved in this battle for P2.
Mash has just got a bit over the sausage curve
I just saw that.
So that's gonna be...
That hurt him, didn't it? Lucky he's got that DRS. It's going to keep him in the fight here. And he's already caught up to the back of these guys. But Brocco, I think, is in a very good position right now. He's right behind these guys.
Spun
oh
at
no!
The new corner.
And we talked about how slippery that is. And he's lighting up those rears. But
claiming another victim.
I've just got to mention, I've just had a look at the grid, and Brocco, he's sitting in 5th, and he has made a pit stop.
Yes,
he's the only one in there to have made that pit stop.
He is on the medium, so he could probably go to the end on them.
And he's actually just set the fastest lap there, so he's moving. And Vice and Spanky are battling there.
Vice, and it's going to be a double overtake.
Oh, and there's a double over. Yes. Or has he got it done?
But Spanky
wheel to wheel.
Back.
And that was exceptional racing there. They've gone wheel to wheel around 1 and 2, and Spanky's come back out in front.
Now Spanky's only got 3% of ERS, so he's in a bit of danger when it comes to that back straight.
And he's going to want to try keeping that DRS. He's slipping out of it. He's down to 9/10 now. Vice is getting a move on. He's hunting down execute order up ahead now. But Spanky, he looks like he's just dropped out of that 1 second mark. He's right on the edge of 1.1, 1.2. I think he's just missed the detection there. We'll know in a second, but UT Karsh is going to get a good run, and Spanky definitely doesn't have the DRS wing open there. I just don't know if that's a long enough straight, is it? It just didn't look like he's got the straight line speed to get that overtake done.
But heading to turn 1, he will surely have enough road in order to at least challenge it to turn 1.
I think so, and I just had a look at Vice. He's actually chipping away at that execute order gap. It was at 2.1, now it's at 1.4 and half a track there.
And he's in.
Oh, he's actually pulled the pin.
He's in the pits, and Vice has just put the last lap of the Grand Prix.
And so we did say he's pulling that gap. Just had a look, but the gap is going bigger down the straight, so execute order has a straight line speed car that may come into advantage.
Absolutely. And Myrtle and Secret are having a good old scrap heading into turn 1. Secret
and someone's around.
Ahead.
It looks like an Alfa Romeo. That's probably Boss again.
Is it Boss again?
Yes, it was Boss again.
It was Boss.
Unfortunate for Boss. He looks like he's struggling out there trying to come to grips with these new cars. We'll jump back up to Myrtle here in Secret. But it's a driver, and Boss is actually just retired there. So whether that's in, I think that's. Oh, and he's hit. I think he's hit Broseph.
He has.
He has. He's retired. Look where he is. He's hit the pit wall. He's in the pit wall. He's in the pit wall.
Oh
no. So that's brought out the full safety. This has just played right into execute Vice and Spanky's favour here a little bit. They've got very lucky. Otherwise, I think Brocco probably would have won this race. But do you think Brocco comes in and puts the softs on now? Or do you think they get to the end? I don't know.
I reckon they'll get to the end.
I think they will.
Here, I'm going for track position, but no, he's coming into the pit lane.
So he's going to want everyone behind him to pit as well. It looks like most of these guys are. Ratbag, he's coming in, he's pulling up nicely there.
Myrtle is in. Everyone in the top 8 has pit. Cool Boy is coming in.
But I believe Brocco's going to be the only one to go on the softs, will he not? Oh, and Secret.
And Paddy has stayed out. This could be pretty high IQ strategy play. He needs to get ahead of Brocco.
And he's going ahead. And this is where we're going to see. So UT Karsh, he really missed out there, didn't he? He pulled the pin in that lap earlier, and it's backfired a little. He has climbed obviously above Spanky because he had that 5 second, but I think it hurt him a little bit.
Vice has got the jump on Execute Auto and now has the lead of this race.
He's nailed his pit stop. Whether Execute replaced the wing, I'm not sure, but maybe Vice just had a very good pit stop. Something that happens a lot in this game, isn't it? When you get that optimal pit stop in that, it's only around a 2.1, 2.2 pit. And
yes,
I think when you get a good one, it's around 2.8 to 3. So it's a big difference.
Yeah, quite big. And especially when it comes to when we get into the season, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 as well. It's going to be crucial in order to gain positions because it could be the difference between winning, losing a race, a podium. So
it's definitely going to make a big difference. And another thing that's going to be a big difference, obviously, hopefully they fix that formation lap bug up. But being able to point your cars to defend into corners now, it's going to be a big factor coming into the start of the season. Obviously, people trying to get that line to defend in turns 1 and get that optimal race line. It's going to be interesting to see how people work around that and make that play into their favour.
Now, Brocco has gone onto the soft compound tyres in P4.
And I've actually just seen Vice. He's actually just commented Vice has commented the Alfa Romeo pit crew are goated. So there you go. They've done an exceptional quick pit stop for him, and it jumped Execute. Execute must be kicking himself right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Crispy, 5 seconds speeding in the pit. So he's trying to get off those hards.
Just about to mention that he was coming to the pit lane, and then he gets 5 seconds.
He would have to be going softs. He does go on the softs there. But that 5 seconds, that's going to hurt him a lot.
Now, has... Banky has got rid of that 5 second penalty, by the way.
Yes, I believe the only one with pens on track is Crispy now. It is Crispy. I've just seen that pop up.
Vice and Brocco are the two drivers with the most positions gained with 16 each. So they have done very well in the first opening 10 laps of this race.
And actually, I'm just going to pull up the position changes. I'm not sure if you've had a look at those. So you're just, as you mentioned, 16, 16, Secret up 11, but 16 positions, that is a long way to gain. Obviously, that's put him up into first. Brocco's in fourth, and I reckon Brocco was on par to win this race without this safety car.
Yeah.
But we'll see what Brocco can do. We know how good Brocco is, especially in those last few races in Tier 1 towards the end of last season. He really picked up his game.
And safety car is in this lap. So where is Vice going to start his...
So who do we jump on board with? Who do we go on board with here?
I think we go Execute Auto. I'm not going to lie. I think
Execute.
He could get a good jump on Vice. Vice has to play his cards right here. Doesn't want to give such a big toe down the main straight because it is one of the longest on the calendar.
One to watch into these turns 1 and 2 is going to be Brocco. He's obviously the only one in the top 4 or 5, I believe, with those softs. It's actually the only one in the top 7 there. So he's going to have a great opportunity to win this race. Just depending on how long those softs go. But we'll see.
And here you go. We're about to get started.
I'm going to jump on board with Execute, so we're on board with him.
And a good start
Vice got a very good start. He got the jump, and he's actually, in saying that, Execute's also got a big jump on Paddy behind him as well.
And Brocco could be under threat from
look at Vice.
the Aston Martin.
I'm trying, there's a lot going on. Vice is doing a lot of swerving down the straight.
Aston Martin.
Oh! Very nicely done there. Brocky stayed ahead there. I think that's the softs. And Brocco, that's the softs, isn't it? That's the soft compound coming into effect there.
Yes, absolutely.
Just so much traction out of those turns 1 and 2. But I just had a look. Vice was swerving to get a temperature into those
And
tyres.
Spanky is going around the outside of the Red Bull. Paddy
And Kenny, hold on,
is going to be
there's a
burned.
big roadblock behind Paddy there. I've just had a look. There's a lot of cars bunched up here. This is going to be where racecraft comes into effect. I'm bored of Paddy looking back. And we're going to jump down.
The move on Paddy. And Secret is right on the back of Paddy as well.
Oh, and I think Secret just banged the wall. I'm not sure, but there's a lot up on board with Mash. And there's cars everywhere. He's actually just pulled a 3-second penalty trying to just keep out of touching any cars around him.
And Secret got the move done on Paddy, by the way, into that new profile corner.
So that's the softs coming in effect. Both. Oh, and Mash got squeezed hard there. And Coolboy's been touched. There's a lot of touching going on back here. A lot of touching.
And we have got the Haas team principal with us. Staines, how are you?
Staines, how are you going? I'm just gonna confirm I can hear. Staines, how are you going? I'm just gonna confirm. Hold on.
And Coolboy has gone into the pits. And he has come out on the medium compound tyre. And they start off ahead.
I'm not sure if I can hear you, Staines. I'm not quite sure.
Try adjusting your volume, Staines, and we'll get back to you.
I definitely can't hear you. It's just, I think it's in settings from your main screen broadcast or something. There'll be a voice sharing option. You just got to have that on always allow or something. It's one of those buttons. But
this battle for the lead is getting interesting. Brocco is in P3 and is almost pushing Execute through the last chicane.
He is pushing him, isn't he? He's honestly pushing that car, and he's got a great run on him here. But we did say earlier, Execute ought to look like he had the straight line speed car. You can see him trying to squeeze. He's squeezing. But I don't know if Brocco's... And I just had a look. Oh, and Execute had a late lunge down the inside there, and he's been tagged.
Is he out? No.
He's not out.
Secret is in the podium positions.
So, Execute, he just had a little bit of a look there. How much space he was left, I'm not quite sure. I didn't really get a good look at that.
And what looked like at least a podium finish is now turning into a P14, and it's been overtaken by Coolboy.
And
in the McLaren.
I think this battle between 1 and 2 is going to be really heat up in these next couple of laps. Brocco, he's chipping away at that time as we speak.
Right.
Staines, are you there? We've just said he thinks he can hear. I'll just ask.
Yeah, mate. Should be fixed now.
Yep, I can definitely hear you now, Staines. We're definitely good to go. Scotty, are you there? I think Scotty just got yelled at, it sounded like, in the background. Scotty, so we've got Staines here. He can be heard. You got a couple questions for him, I believe.
Yeah, he's a Haas team principal. You get the lucrative first round pick. How are you going to look to approach that? Because you get the 20th pick as well, or like the last pick in round 2 as well. So how are you going to play? It's going to be like a number 1, number 2 driver at the Haas F1 team.
Yeah, so honestly, I think people think it should be an easy pick. Obviously, we got Tyler being the current champion. But honestly, there's so much talent that could be Tier 1 contenders that I'm still trying to figure out, really. And I don't think I'll know up until the day as to what I'm going to do. But yeah, I definitely won't be letting too many hints out as to who I'll be choosing. But
and look,
there's definitely a lot to choose from.
As you said, Tyler, he's obviously the Tier 1 champion from last season. But these cars are all new territory to these drivers. I've personally seen a lot of these drivers who, nothing against them, definitely weren't up to where they are in this game. On this game, they're just on a whole new level compared to what they were. So it's brought a lot of drivers into contention this year.
Yeah, no, it honestly has. There's drivers in here that are just showing blistering pace. Like up there with the likes of Tyler and
look,
the other fast.
Yeah, one of those drivers I do want to mention is Myrtle. I know he's a bit of a hot-headed sometimes on the track, but Spanky spun right in front of Myrtle, so Myrtle's jumped up. But yeah, we were
Into
just talking
P4.
about. But he's really put the foot down. He's showing these team owners that he wants to drive this season. Obviously.
Yeah, well, I just heard that he won the 100% race, and
Yeah.
that in itself was impressive. That's no easy feat by any driver.
And actually, to do that, he actually beat Tyler, the Tier 1 champion, as you mentioned. He beat Tyler. Tyler came
Yes.
second.
Wow.
So he's got a lot of potential this season. But as you said, there's a lot out there this season. There's so many to pick from now. We've got a lot of new drivers on there. UT Karsh, he's another one. He's a newcomer, but I know he was very quick on 2020. How he's performing in these cars right now, he's doing very well, I must say.
Yes.
Yeah, it's also not just looking at Tier 1. I mean, coming from Alpine last season and us taking out the overall constructors, you got to have a solid team throughout all your tiers. So it's a big ask to try and narrow it down to, 8 picks to choose
Yes.
out of this pool of drivers. I mean, it's no easy task for any of the team principals.
And look, as you said, you took out the overall championship. Is that something you're going to look at, trying to snatch some of those drivers and bring them over to Haas? Obviously,
Yeah,
you worked pretty well with them last season. It all worked out in the end. You dominated the overall championship.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's all down to T8 and his leadership in that team. We had a real tight-knit bunch from reserves to all the tiers. And yeah, I mean, we've spoken about it.
And Ratbag has spun with Execute.
Oh,
Sorry
no.
to interrupt there, but nearly collected a couple other drivers on the way on that last corner.
But yeah, as you said, you could tell you had a very tight-knit group. You're one of the only teams to always have a reserve available. Like, there was always someone on standby, and then if that person wasn't available, there was always someone else ready to step up.
Yeah.
It was never a worry for you guys who was going to drive. Obviously, we saw a lot of team changing last year. A lot of drivers going into the unfamiliarized seats to fill those gaps. But I don't even think you used one driver from any other team last year. I think you were the only team to do that.
No, it was solid. But I mean, that all just comes down to trying to collect as many points over a full season as you can. And yeah, that's, I guess, the approach that I'm looking for this season, is getting a good pool of drivers who can just get the points when it matters. But, you know, that doesn't mean being the quickest in qualifying, because as you all know, the points are earned in the race.
100%, and obviously you've learnt from the master. You're now the apprentice, so hopefully we see some big things from you next season.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, boys. Should be good.
Awesome, thanks for jumping in. And I've just had a look.
And
We're talking about him.
spun.
He's actually spun. Commentators cares. We've done it. Scotty.
Oh no. Broseph has managed to get past him.
And I've actually just had a look. Sorry, I only just realised it's lap 17.
Cool Boy is spun around as well at the exact same place around the last corner.
So that corner's caught out of quite a few drivers this race, hasn't it?
Yes, it has, and it's the exit from there. It's such a crucial exit, but at the same time, it's very difficult. Especially due to the sausage curve on the outside. You can't run too wide out of that chicane. So that's probably the reason why most drivers are actually getting caught out by that.
Just trying to find a little bit of a battle here. I think Mash is going to be the best one to sit on. It looks like Vice has got away with it here. It looks like Vice is going to hang on. He's gained 16 positions, hasn't he? And Secret, look at the top 3. Sorry, just pull up the position gains there and have a look at those top 3. Or 4.
Yeah.
We could almost say top 4.
16, 18, 16 and 10.
That is huge. That is a lot of positions to gain in 17 laps. That's a lot.
It just shows their racecraft, and Vice will win here. Secret P3. Myrtle comes P4, so not too bad so far today for him.
And also those top 5 not pulling out a penalty. Spanky, I believe, had 3, and I think Mash was 6, or maybe in the other way around. But only a few penalties in there for the track limits there. So they've all managed to get around that pretty well on the track. Oh, and Cool Boy's around again. I think he might be out. Oh, he's not out, but he smacked the wall there, and he's just lost out to the 2 Red Bulls of Ratbag and Paddy there.
Yeah.
So he's going to cross the line with absolutely no winning. He's actually just got the 2 M plates on somehow. I'm not quite sure how they're...
And he's leaving around the track. He's how what Cool Boy does, but...
I think he even does that in a league race, I believe.
Wouldn't
So
be surprised.
we've got Crispy. He's had a very unfortunate race. He's actually going to drive over very slow across this line. Hopefully, maybe does a bit of a burnout for us across the line because he is going very slow.
Very slow.
And Cat goes through. He's just cruising to the line. Oh, there, there he goes.
That was a little spin to finish. But it was a very good race. I feel like there was the drivers who had good racecraft, had good pace, and good strategy most of all, were in those top positions as they should be.
But Vice, what a drive. 16
Yes,
positions,
very good.
Brocco 18, Secret again 16. So the top three gains 16 and 18 positions there. Mega drive. And as we know, Spain is not an easy track to overtake on, is it?
No, it isn't. And especially with some of those corners, so some of those long corners, they can take out your tyres. And if you get an entry wrong, you could lose many tenths to your opponents. So very good drive from Vice as well as the strategy as well, getting that, getting the jump on execute.
But look, yeah, in saying that, also, it's a very, as you said, a lot of those, they're long and they're quick turns. They're so easy to get understeer on these corners and just slowly just drift off on the oversteer, off onto gravels and stuff. It's very hard. But obviously those three, they've got amazing racecraft up there.
And Secret with the fastest lap there with a 19.8, so that was very good from him from P19. But Brocco, P20 to P2, he has driven incredibly well there.
So that's the first race now. I'm not sure how many of these drivers know where we're going to the next track. I don't know if you know, Scotty, where we're going. But
I don't know yet. Should be interesting.
I've just got word, actually. Brocco was saying his front tyres were at 108 degrees. So, look,
And we're at Miami.
Someone's just questioned me about our grid. There you go. It's on random. So no one can accuse me. It's definitely on random. So we'll just give these guys a second to load back in, and then we'll green flag it for them. So it looks like everyone's loaded in successfully. I'm all good to go. Are you all good to go, Scotty?
I am all good.
So we'll
Couple guys there did impress the brand new driver in the Aston Martin with Crash. Did very well.
Yes, we'll have to think of a little bit of a nickname for him, hey, because that's definitely a hard name to mention. Obviously, he showed us what he could do at the start there. He looked very good, and then just had the unfortunate spin, which we saw catch out quite a lot of the guys. I believe it was Boss, Coolboy. I think they caught Boss out a couple times, actually.
Yeah.
Which also ended up ruining Numbnuts' race there, so very unfortunate. But yeah, definitely caught out a few. Hatch will be looking to redeem himself after that first lap DNF, which took out Shadow and KLX, another newcomer.
But Miami's a good track to separate the drivers. I feel like it's a track which requires lots of racecraft, good racing ability, good understanding. So,
especially that first sector, it is very slippery, and this is going to be an interesting one. I know turn one is very hard to get. It requires a lot of patience, early braking, and it'll be interesting to see how many. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many of these drivers actually pull that car up into this first corner. Hopefully, they all take it a bit easy. As we said, these testings aren't all about winning. Obviously, if you play the long game like we just saw Brocco, Vice, and Secret do, you may end up winning, and that all came down to just racecraft. So, if everyone does that, they may be seeing themselves on that podium step. So drivers are just they have been informed to allow roughly 30 seconds to obviously select their setups, what their tyres are. It looks like it's good to see a lot of them look to be listening right now, doesn't it? The timer hasn't started yet, so no one's actually ready up. There you go, it says waiting for players, so I imagine that means someone's readying up. And there you go, someone has decided to ready up. So now everyone's got 30 seconds to get those setups ready to go.
Yeah.
So I have actually just read earlier that there's also a patch release coming out for this game. I believe it was on Monday they're scheduled to release, but there was no mention of the formation lap in there. So it doesn't look like we're getting a fix this weekend.
Yeah, which is disappointing. Hopefully we saw it before round 1 in Bahrain, but
Here we go. Myrtle's got the front row here. We've got a couple of the guys. And someone hasn't moved there. Like a true boss has not moved. Boss hasn't moved. And I had issues with him last night not moving.
And it's Utkrash in the Aston Martin who was out as long as Broseph.
And Boss did not move. So I'm going to imagine the stewards are going to look at that pretty heavily. That is going to be very, very big looked at. You can't be participating in these races and then not show up for the start of the race.
Yeah, that's...
So that is very, very unfortunate. And you gotta feel for UT Karsh there. He's one of the newcomers. He used to race here. We've brought him back into the league, and that's not gonna brighten his mood, is it?
No, it isn't. It's unlucky for him. It's something you can't really avoid, especially at the start where everyone's trying to jostle for positions. So
Broseph, like a true boss, caused a double DNF there.
Very poor exit from Cool Boy.
It's alright, he's lucky the safety car is out on track, so no overtaking there. It'll be interesting to see what some of these drivers do here. Will they pit?
It's only 14 laps. If you're on the mediums now, I think you'll be able to get to the end, especially if it's another safety car. You could be in a really good position. Anyone coming in? Paddy is the first one in. Cool Boy is also in.
So KLX, I reckon, is going to have to stay out. He's on the mediums. He is staying out.
And Sticker has DNF'd.
And where is he DNF'd? I can't see where he's DNF'd. I don't know. Maybe in the pits? Has he just retired in the pits? I know it's very late for him. I know it's already around 3 a.m. or something for him.
Yeah.
So 3 out again, lap 1. Same as last race.
And Myrtle has kept his lead, which is... Vice is already up 10 positions in this race, and Ratbag has gone from P18 to P5 already.
And he's making up a lot of position. Myrtle's, he's hung on to P1. He started P1 and he hung on to it. He didn't pit. He's opting to go a bit longer, so maybe he's preying on another safety car or something. I'm not quite sure there.
Yeah. So Cool Boy actually is in a decent position, being the lead of the already made a stop.
So I might just quickly pull up these stops. We'll see who's pitted. I believe it's everyone from Cool Boy down. I'm not sure.
Down.
Yes.
Down.
So Boss has got the penalty. I'm going to guess that's a 5-second penalty for causing the collision at the start there. It is.
Right. And Tyler in P16, second last for him. So he'll be looking to make a couple of positions up. He didn't do too well around Spain. So.
Yeah, he didn't. He obviously had that unfortunate incident which involved Boss again. Unfortunately, I believe he just spun on the exit of that last turn onto the pit straight, and Tyler just run up the back, and that was probably the cold tyres due to the safety car restart. But look, Tyler's done the same strategy as Brocco, and we saw how well it worked for Brocco before. He's pitted early on that first safety car. Tyler, he's now done that. So he's going to be looking to, I'm going to assume, just follow Broccoli through the field here. And the cars are coming to an almost stop there. Not sure why they're ghosting. Ghosting's off, but that's a bit random. Actually, that is something I have noticed with this game. Even when cars spin, sometimes they do ghost. Whether that's meant to happen, I don't know. Vice is just asking to see the random grid again. I'm not sure if I can see it in here. Weekend structure. There you go, Vice. Random grid. It's definitely on random. There you go. Medium, qualifying off, practice off, standard. It's definitely on. We'll just double check I believe, ghosting off. So I'm not sure why they're ghosting. But there you go. Vice says it's definitely random. Vice is trying to accuse me a little bit of making him do it the hard way, I think. But look, he's up in the P7. Vice is no slouch. He's definitely probably one of the quickest drivers on the grid right now. I personally have done a lot of racing with Vice, and I know how quick he is. He's definitely he's got a lot of race awareness and a lot of racecraft. I believe he is on no assist now. I'm not sure if he's still got the line off. But, yeah, look, I think Vice is definitely one to look out for in the draft.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think a lot of team owners are going to be eyeing off Vice. And if he can manage to just keep it clean like he did in Spain, I think that's going to only improve his chances. He definitely got a little bit unlucky last night, but he's proven himself here today so far.
Yeah.
And there you go, he has just confirmed no line, so Vice is the elite of the elite. And was that safety car in?
Yes, it is, and we are.
So Myrtle's got the lead here. Now this is going to be tricky. Now they're going to have colder tyres.
Going green, Myrtle.
I'm going to jump on with KLX here and see what he does. He's having a look, and someone's around, I believe. Is that Tyler around again?
Yes,
Tyler
it
is around,
Tyler.
So he's having a shocker, isn't he? And it looks like he's going into the pit.
And KLX has had a really poor exit, and Matty AU is going to look to see if he can try to get a move done.
So Matty's trying to get that move done. And this is where that racecraft comes into it, doesn't it? Through those Sector 1, just through the S's. You can see Matty run very wide. He's off the track. He's a long way off the track there. But it gave him a bit of a better exit, but... So this grid's very bunched up. We'll go down to Ratbag and Crispy. This is where the battle's on. I can see Execute on the move now. Ratbag and Execute coming in side by side. And Execute's... He's got that move done before the turn, the braking point, so very nicely there. But it's a 3 wide there, Mash, and a lot going on. Mash getting a 3-second penalty. So, in trying to avoid the cars touching again, he's run off the track and picked up a 3-second penalty. And through that chicane there, that's a make or break, isn't it? Under the tunnel there.
And Vice is going for the move along the back, say on Spanky.
And they're going to get his side-by-side. Vice has opted to go the inside line. And it looks like he's got that done before the breaking point as well. And he done nicely just to come across and just squeeze Spanky into braking a little bit early. And Spanky's lost out. He's lost out to Crispy as well.
Crispy.
And Execute's now on the back of him.
And
Execute's going to have a look down the inside, I think. He is having a look. And he's opted to pull back in behind there. That's going to get Ratbag up nice and close. And Mash is retired. And I think that's in the pit. So... Definitely unfortunate, and we've actually picked up Broseph. Are you there?
What happened?
Evening, lads. Evening.
Your best friends, mate, didn't move off the line.
What he was doing? He dropped the ball.
Myrtle was spun.
Oh,
no. The race leader has spun.
And he's gone down to 7th now. Sorry, Broseph, but obviously not the start you would have wanted. You had a very good testing last night. Obviously, but tonight hasn't gone to plan, has it?
No, and, it happens like that. You can have a good run of luck, and then you can get someone just not in control of their car off the line and run straight into the back of them. And
obviously, it's very unfortunate. I imagine you're probably in chat with Boss there. Did you have a little word to him? I got to know.
I did once he got back in the seat, yep. It's all good. These things happen.
Yeah, look, it's just one of those things. That's obviously why we do these testings, to try to get the kinks out. Obviously, he's going to know in a league race you can't be doing that. It's definitely unfortunate. But look, obviously you're in the draft pool. Do you have anyone in mind who you'd like to be with?
Look, I wouldn't actually mind being retained by AlphaTauri, by Tetris, the team principal there. Just such a good team dynamic last season. Helped propel us to, I think, a top 4 finish for AlphaTauri. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind them. But everyone knows I'm a bit of a Ferrari fan, so I wouldn't mind getting drafted by Mamba.
Ooh, Mamba. We know how Mamba, he's a cover. And actually, Myrtle's just been double stacked here.
As he the Alpine pit crew.
But yeah, as you said, so Mamba, the cutthroat team principal, that's a bold move there. That's a and Boss is around. Boss is out there. It's brought out the full safety, has it? It has brought out a full safety car.
So.
I'm on board with Execute. There you go. He's just missed it. We'll jump onto Myrtle. Myrtle's going to go past Boss here. And he's that's the tricky part of the track, isn't it? It's very slippery there. But look, Broseph, thanks for jumping in. It was awesome to chat to you. I hope to see you on track maybe a bit later tonight. I'm not sure if you're in there. Hopefully we see more of you, but...
Appreciate it, Timmy. Yep, have a good call, boys. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
No problem.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
So, Myrtle, it's gone from bad to worse for him. He had another moment there. He actually had a bit of a spin on the last corner there at the end of the straight. And he actually had a rear end kick, and that let Execute order through his teammate, and they both pitted at the same time.
Yeah.
So Myrtle, he may have just scraped in with a bit of luck there, possibly, obviously, if that safety car come out, because he was a long way behind now.
And Matty AU and KLX are in the pits.
And Vice.
Vice.
And he is. And I imagine Spanky's going to come in. You're going to see these, I imagine Brocco. Brocco's staying out, so Brocco's gone track position here. Interesting call there. So look, I trust in Brocco's call. We saw him do it last time, and he actually does a very nice racing line. You can actually see the racing line very nicely in the sunlight there. Sorry to mention that. But Brocco's coming up the safety car now. He's just pulled up and he just went past it, but he's stopped in time. But I think Brocco definitely knows what he's doing.
Hatch in the McLaren is P2 as well. He's already made a stop as well. So
and I believe he's up a lot of positions. He's up 12.
Very good from the former Aston Martin driver.
And there you go. Myrtle's actually just said the Alpine go to pit crew there. He's just said they've done a 1.9 pit stop for him. That is very quick. That is a rapid pit stop.
Obviously, Brocco was a Tier 1 driver last year, and Hatch on the controller Tier 2 got taken out by Spanky twice at the end of last season.
Oh, he did. 2 races in a row, I believe, also. It was 2 races in a row.
Hungary and Singapore.
Yeah.
But he's not as fast as Brocco, and I think most of us know that. So if he can hold up KLX and Matty, Brocco can just walk away with it.
And look, KLX is one of our newcomers. He's on the soft compound tyre there. I might actually sit on board with him for this race restart, and we might try to give him a bit of airtime and see what he can do. We haven't really shown much of him, and as we said, he's a newcomer, and this is going to be a good opportunity for him to prove himself. We might, we'll give him a bit of showtime, eh?
Yeah, why not?
But look, yeah, as you said, Brocco, he's P1, and we saw how quick he was in Spain, and probably the only one who can match that right now. Look, just going the top one is Matty AU or Vice. But yeah, they got 2 drivers between them to get to Brocco, and Brocco, if he can get the start he wants, he's gonna pull a decent gap. That's gonna be hard to reel him. But I believe Vice is on the softs. Is he on the softs or is he on the mediums? Nah, he's on the softs. Sorry. So Vice, he's gonna be looking to make up some quick ground. And it just looks like Coolboy and Tyler. So Tyler's gonna get to catch up to the grid here. They're coming around to the back, so you imagine safe cars in at the end of this lap, so it's not going to leave many laps of racing, 5 laps.
Yeah. The Brocco P6 last season in Tier 1 with 49 points. Again, it was a good season for him. Looking to go one better in Season 3.
And as you say that, he got 49 points, but he did that in the last 3 races.
Yeah, he was struggling for points earlier in the season. So
no, sorry, he did in his last 2 races. Sorry, he actually
2 races.
He didn't win. He never completed a race until Mexico, which was our second last race in the wet, which he won, and then he was on par to come home P2 at Brazil, and he tried to make a move on to the inside starting the last lap, and I think just got a rear snap and actually spun and went into the wall. And he ended up coming in P4, but the race was double points, which is why he ended up getting those extra bonus points. But yeah,
even with that, as a team principal, would you look at that and maybe put him higher up your pecking order than the standings would suggest?
Look, I honestly think you would, especially, he showed us what he could really do in those last 2 races. And since coming into this preseason testing, I've done a lot of racing with Brocco on this game. He's very quick, and he's shown that here tonight. He'll definitely be up there for one of the. He's definitely going to be one of those top picks. I think he'll go in that first round of draft picks. I think he'll be one of the first 10 to get drafted. I really think he will be.
Safety car in this lap, by the way, and Brocco is going to, in the Mercedes, get a plaque away from Hatch, who is having a stonking race in P2 for McLaren.
So when does Brocco... as we said, I'm going to jump on board with KLX here. I'm going to try to see what he can do here. He's on the softs, 2 in front are on mediums, and he's actually got a good exit. He's got a very good run down into turn 1 here on Hatch. And he's run it very wide there. Weiss has made up a lot of positions already. He's actually side by side. This is where it gets tricky. He's slippery. He's on the slippery part of the track, and he's had to pull out and let Hatch back through. I think that was just due to the track being so slippery there. But KLX, he's made his mark on that race restart, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and that is that's a very important move for him to get past the slower car of Hatch.
Yeah,
so
without a
doubt. Challenge Brocco.
And he's on the soft, so as I said, we haven't seen much of KLX, but we're about to see a lot of him. I might try to stick on board with him for a little bit. There's definitely a lot going on behind. Weiss looks like he's making a move. I'm going to go back to this for a second. Weiss is down the inside here. You see that beautiful number 69. And he's got the move on Hatch there. So Weiss he's making up his positions, and now he's right behind KLX. So this is where we're going to see what KLX can do. He's got one of the fastest guys on the grid right now, right behind him.
Yeah.
Oh, and Weiss, I think, just tapped the wall there.
Wouldn't be surprised to start the exit of that left-hander out the chicane.
Just having a look. Weiss looks like he's trying to get some warmth into those tyres. He's doing a bit of a weaving down the back straight there.
Yeah. And is that Myrtle making a move on Hatch into that?
It is. And Mattia, you got very loose on the rear, and that's a Haas around. Ducat, he's not having a day he would have liked, and he's actually taking out Shadow, I believe. And he has taken out Shadow there, so those two are around. We're going to go back up to KLX, Button Weiss here. I think this is the battle to be on for P2 and 3 at the moment.
Yes, absolutely.
But there is a big battle going back down there between Ratbag and stuff, isn't there? Execute, there's about 4 or 5 of them there. You can just see him on the map, and you see the Aston there. Tyler's around, I think. He's hit the wall. Did he get damaged? I don't think he did. Ratbag's retired, but there goes Ratbag. So the very next corner, he's gone around.
Double DNF for him.
He should have been on the comms, the poor bloke. He should have. Oh, you got to feel it. And there's Tyler around in the Aston, actually, at the very next corner. So he's spun twice, and he's actually just taking his wing off there, trying to get back onto the track. It's only yellows. No. It's only yellows, but
just yellows.
This battle, Weiss is very close.
Timmy, with these spins of these so far in preseason testing today, these not very strong results from Tyler, do you think some TPs would be concerned about his form in this new game?
Without a doubt, as you said, we saw how good he was on 2020. He was so consistent, and from what we're seeing this evening, we're not seeing that consistency, are we? He didn't have a great night last night. Another night, 2 nights in a row now. I'm not sure if he's going in pre-season test 3 tonight, but we're yet to see what Tyler can do. We really haven't seen what he can do yet.
We know he has the talent, but sometimes you've got, and he's nearly lost the back end there, heading out. And
he has no wing, but he's going to continue to keep going. But Weiss and KLX have actually caught up to Brocco here. They're within 6/10 these top 3. I'm just going to pull up the gap to the leader. It is only 1.2 seconds between those top 3.
Both of them pulled was it 6 tenths on
Yeah,
him in
yes.
that last lap alone.
In the last lap, yeah, you are right.
And
So it's now under a
Yeah, but-
second between those top three. Oh, Vice has had a look down the inside. That was very aggressive.
He's got them
actually
moved.
he's squeezing
but he's
KLX.
got a 3-second time penalty for that.
Yeah,
for-
look, that was tough. I think he left KLX no room at all.
It may have been for track limits. Could have been. So
I think it was. I think KLX got pushed real hard up against the wall. I think it looked like KLX actually hit the wall and bounced off into Vice, and I think that just pushed Vice back off. But yeah, I think
that has helped.
Oh, and Brocco had a big moment there. So that's going to hurt Vice, but that 3-second that come to the end of this race.
We'll get him.
Is KLX making the move? No, he's not. Brocco's run a bit wide, but KLX looks like he's got this. Oh, that was great racing, wasn't it? That was so good to see on that.
That's what Inches is all about.
And
that was an incredible move.
And
they're back on the inside.
They're still going side by side. Brocco's now on the outside line, but he's going to get the. Oh, and have they touched? I don't know. I don't know if they touched.
Yes, I did think they touched. So, bit of banging wheels.
Oh, KLX has pulled that car out on track very quickly. Yeah, got a feel for KLX there.
And Myrtle is in P3 and looking like he's going to hunt down Vice.
He's hunting. He's hunting very quickly. What those softs are feeling right now, I don't know. They've both got DRS. Brocco, he's got 2 laps to go. Can he do it?
As well, Vice has got no ERS left in the bank. Where Myrtle can put a move down after the chicane.
And we've got to remember, Vice does have that 3-second penalty, unfortunately. So, it's very unfortunate. But I know both these drivers, the top 3, either of them isn't going to take a pens as a win. They're going to want to win this on track.
Now, Matty, are you looking to make a move on Hatch? It looked like it'd be a pretty comfortable move.
And you got KLX in the background on the hunt now, so he's trying to make up some positions that he lost. These guys are going in side by side. Oh, and was there contact there? I missed it. Matty, he's gone very wide. It looked like he went off into the wall there.
But Myrtle trying the switcheroo, not making it work though. I guess a much better exit than Vice, heading into the very quick left-hander.
And I reckon those softs might be starting to feel it in a second. I think 6 laps. We'll see what Coolboy's doing. Coolboy, he's yet to see yellow. That's executed around. He's spun around at the exit of turn 2 there. So coming on to 3. So he's around. He's dropping out of the top 10 now as we speak. Numbnuts. Tyler works his way up back into the points. But Tyler does have a left end plate missing there. But we'll go back up to this top 3.
Myrtle trying to make a move around the outside of Vice. Very difficult to make a move around that.
That's
right
a very
hander.
hard. Yeah, I was just about to say that. There's only a second in it between these top 3. Brocco, I hope he's got enough ERS in that tank. I'm not going to have a look.
He does.
I'm
he's
not
got
going to
25%.
Look. So there you go. You've heard it. He's got 25. He's going to have to use a lot of that this lap. He knows he doesn't have to beat Vice. He just has to beat Myrtle to hang on to P1. But Vice, is he going to have a look? He's not. He's tucked back in behind. So they're about to start the fight. Brocco has another moment. He's had a couple moments on that same corner. He's really struggling there.
And Hatch is being double overtaken by.
Is that Myrtle going
KLX.
around? Myrtle's got the move done on Vice here. He's ahead.
He does.
Vice is having a look down the inside. Oh, and Vice, big dive. That was a big dive. He actually went well off track to get that done.
And that puts him out of DRS zone from Brocco. So, as long as Brocco keeps it nice and clean through the rest of this lap, he will win.
Vice getting very aggressive. He got the elbows out there. He went very close to the track limits there. So, look, Myrtle, he doesn't have to get ahead of him here.
Do too much here.
He's just got to stick with him. He's got the DRS to help him. So, as long as he just stays with Vice, he's going to go up onto P2. But I think Myrtle's going to want to get this done on track. And he's actually making the move again. So, is that the smart play, do you think? Do you think you're better off saving it for this next straight? Try and make things a little bit easier for you?
If I'm Myrtle here, I'm probably just going to try to tuck behind him, not go for the move, even though it's the last lap, and just let the penalty do its thing. But
And Myrtle, he's actually touched the wall there. He's lost out a little bit of time there.
and looks like he won't get a move done.
He's opened that DRS ring now, so Myrtle, he's gaining very quickly on Vice. Do you think he's going to make... I think he's going to go for the move here. He wants to win it on track, I think.
The switchback.
He's got it. He's got it.
He's got it.
He's at a moment. Has he got it? Vice is cutting the track. Vice has cut the track to 10 seconds. 2 seconds per corner. Can he cut that track? Huge. Gained 1 position, and he's actually lost out on the podium. Look how far he's dropping. Oh, oh my God.
Some TPs may look at that and
I
think that's poor.
I think you're right. I think, Vice, he had P3 in the bag there, and he didn't like the fact he got overtaken there, and he's lost out huge. He just copped a 10-second penalty. He's dropped to P7.
KLX with the 3rd place on the podium, and Hatch with P4. What a drive from him.
That was huge. I can't believe that just happened.
Oh my word.
I cannot believe that just happened twice. He had P3 in the bag and he just absolutely chopped that last corner to get ahead of Myrtle. I'm not sure if he crossed the line before on Myrtle. I was looking to the right. It looked like Myrtle may have still...
I think he actually
I think he did because it said he gained 1 position. Yeah, you're right.
On the penalty, so...
So I think... So there you go. I don't know if that was in the new game, but... the old game, but there you go. You can't overtake off the track to gain an on-track advantage to win ahead of someone. It's a 10-second penalty.
10 seconds. Let's...
And we've actually got Myrtle. Myrtle, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you make of that last lap overtake on you?
Oh, look, I think I had the move done, but then I lost my rear there, and he got the move done, but obviously he's done it off track, so...
Oh, yeah, he did it well off the track.
He got a 10-second penalty for that, and that was...
It actually dropped him all the way down to 7th, as you can see. He probably would have got driver of the day, P3. Wow, that's a big moment, isn't it? But look, Myrtle, you look like you had the move done the lap before, and then there was a little bit of a late dive, bit of contact. What were your thoughts on that contact into turn 1 on the last lap there?
Well, I just think he didn't want to be overtaken. It's pretty obvious because I could have catched Brock. I reckon I could have. I reckon I could have got the pace done, just catching every lap. But you just wanted to get the move done a bit too early, and obviously, that happens.
It definitely has happened, and obviously that's why we do these pre-testing things. Try to get the kinks out of everybody in these new cars. But look, I think, Myrtle, you definitely made a big statement here tonight. Just quickly before you go, there you go, Brocco. There's your top 3 for the championship in the testing today. And I think that's a pretty deserving one, don't you, Scotty? I think that's probably pretty accurate. Just having a look at that quickly.
Yes, absolutely.
But look, Myrtle, just quickly before you go, do you have a team preference in this draft? Do you know where you want to be, or do you have anyone in mind?
Look, man, I just want to get picked. I don't really care where I go. If I get a seat, I'll be really happy and grateful. But hopefully I can prove myself.
I think you've definitely made a statement over these last 2 nights, Myrtle. So well done, and thanks for jumping in quickly.
Thank you, Myrtle.
But I think we saw Vice join. Was that Vice? I heard a little cack in the background. Vice, how you going? I'd love to know your thoughts on what happened there on the last lap, or particularly the last corner, should I say? I can see you got no line on. I personally, I think that's a new feature in the game. So it's now on notice. Everyone would have seen that. But look, I've got to say, someone's got to do it, and you did it, so now we all know what happens. So thank you for that. But look, obviously you won the first race in Spain. You had a very dominant race. I think you made up 16 positions, and then you made up 17 positions, I think, in that race then as well. So,
Before penalty.
but yeah, before penalty, should be mentioned. But just do you have any thoughts on where you want to go in the draft? Do you have a team in mind?
That's Rip the Beans,
I think
isn't
that's Rip the Beans, yes. So there you go, Rip. You've heard it here first. Obviously, if you're watching, there you go. You heard it here. But yeah, as we said, you won Spain. Is that a dominant track for you, or is it just go in and pray for the best? Obviously, to be sure, you had some amazing racecraft throughout the race. So yeah, I think you made a statement here tonight. Well, yeah, look, you say nothing spectacular. I think you said you started 17 both races. You questioned my grid format. But I think you've definitely put yourself in with a big shot. I think I imagine you're going to be one of the top first 10 to get picked in this draft. So well done this evening. Hopefully it's not the last we see in these pre-season testing races. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for jumping in. And also, just a quick mention, guys, while you're here, Vice is, I believe, the head admin at Rush Racing League. So if anyone wants to go check them out, you can message me directly, or I'll drop the link in the Discord, the Twitch shortly for you, so you can go check them out as well.
Absolutely.
But also, I think as we just saw Broccoli jump in here. Brocco's the little, should we say, testing champion for this evening. You were dominant the whole series. 18 positions the first race. I'm not quite sure what it was the second race. It was a lot, and you really dominated that second race. Did you think you made the right strategy not pitting, or were you questioning yourself a little bit there?
Oh, it was definitely a last-minute call to say out. I was going with pitting onto softs, but seeming I got track position, I had a feeling those softs would drop off a lot, because they did in Spain. So I was just really, really relying on that. But yeah, definitely was a last-minute call.
Look, and I think team owners, Scotty, correct me if you think I'm wrong here, but I think team owners are going to be looking at drivers who can back themselves, and Brocco definitely did that there with opting to stay out and hold track position.
Absolutely. Very good performance from you today, and well deserved.
Cheers, mate.
And just quickly before you go, Brocco, we saw you dominate Spain. I know you had a tough season here last season in Inters. Are you looking to turn those things around this season?
Definitely. I'm feeling a lot more consistent on this game. I feel like as of late last season and early on this game, I'm definitely finding a bit more consistency, not pushing as hard and finishing races now.
I think that's obviously a main objective, and you've shown us here tonight what you can do when you put your head down and just stick to racing. But do you have any team owners in mind? Obviously, you got 10 teams to pick from. Do you have anyone in mind? Would you like to stick with the Aston? Obviously, you were in Aston last season, or do you have a preferred option you would like to go in?
Probably Mercedes and McLaren, I reckon, would be my preferences. But
so there you go, Scotty. I believe you're. There you go.
Mercedes. We'll
how much money you want?
into that.
I'll slip you a check.
So there you go. You heard it here first. Brocco's going to pay to race somewhere else. So there you go. That's a good contract if you ask me.
Pay driver.
Paying the team owner to race. I like it. Tyler, mate, we're going to have a chat. But look, Brocco, thanks for jumping in. Hopefully that's not the last we see you for testing. Awesome stuff here tonight. Thank you.
Cheers, boys.
Okay. Well, that was very good racing from everyone today, and
I think
we'll see you.
I think as you said, just quickly, those the top three Brocco, Weiss, and Myrtle, they definitely deserve those top three. I think they probably were definitely the best on track this evening.
They were the consistent drivers out there today, and had real good pace and good racecraft, and it
look,
showed.
As a team owner, did it give you an idea on who you want to look at, or are you still undecided? Do you have a strategy going into this draft?
Obviously, I know you will have a strategy going into it, but a couple drivers today did impress me, which I wasn't looking at earlier or didn't know they even existed. So it does allow me to have a couple more options in the draft, and that should be good. You don't want to miss the draft in a couple weeks. As
we said, I think a lot of what the owners are going to do, I hope they don't, is just look at those top drivers and go for those top drivers. There's definitely a lot of underdogs in this league. We saw that UT Cash in the Aston Martin.
Yes.
We saw what he could do in Spain. He got very unfortunate. He obviously had the incident, and then he got taken out by a car not moving off the start of the grid. But we saw what he could do. He's only new here. KLX, another one, only new, but he was on for a win there almost.
What I mean, even one good race or one race where you can show you can make overtakes and stuff can be enough to put you on the radar for some of these TPs. So, especially some of these TPs, we're definitely looking at those drivers.
Yeah, without doubt, that was a big eye opener for me. That put a couple of guys on my radar. But as you said, we can have a strategy as team owners, but I think it could go out the window on that first pick.
Yes.
Obviously, Staines get that first pick, and that could throw your strategy out the window on that first pick. So it's going to be a tough night. But I think we got Tyler in here quickly as well. Is that Tyler, the Tier 1 champion? I heard.
Yes. Hello. What's up?
Tyler, obviously things didn't go your way this evening. We saw Boss spin around the restart in Spain. That ended your race, unfortunately, and then you just really struggled to come to grips in Miami there.
Yeah, I'm trying out no TC, and I'm on a wheel, so still getting the hang of it, but I should be better coming to the draft. I'm still proud of what I got in Miami.
I think you still managed up to 9th or 10th in the end there.
10th.
Yeah, we did see you just creep up into there right at the end. So big comeback drive there. But well, there you go, Scotty. We actually just heard he's said he's going to be confident come draft night. So that's just that might mess with a few decisions, won't
it? I think it will, and even that you might expect Danes could go for him and maybe not have the performances. It's really up in the air. But Tyler has shown. You've shown very much why you're a deserving champion. So.
Look, I think, as you said, regardless, there's no possible way in this whole entire world that I don't think Tyler doesn't get a seat somewhere. I think he'll be definitely in one of those top 10 to be picked straight away.
Yeah.
No, at the rate it's going, might not even be top 10 because my performances in pre-testing have been pretty shocking.
Yeah, you see, there's another spanner in the works for us, isn't it, Scotty? Something we've got to look at.
Definitely.
But look, with that being said, Scotty, we do have another race in just over an hour and 6 minutes. So I think we better cut this short and maybe go have a little bit of a nap. So with that being said,
and then back.
So just quickly before we go, guys, I'll be on comms again. I'll be joined by Almighty Gob there tonight. The theme is seaside races for this evening, so it'll be a track, or two tracks should I say, that are going to be close to the water. So there's a couple in there that come to mind: Monaco, Baku, Canada, Zandvoort, Jeddah, and Australia, I believe. Australia, yes, Melbourne.
Yes.
So there's a couple there close to the water. Abu Dhabi's got the marina, so. And as we said, they're random tracks. The drivers won't know until we're in this lobby where we're going. So they better get practicing on some of those tracks. And we'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Very much.
Bad racing.